Here are 5 business stories making the headlines in sub-Saharan Africa this week. African nations must be allowed to develop fossil fuel resources to help lift their people out of poverty, government said at the COP27 climate talks in Egypt. Echoing comment from other African nations, Maggie Chino, Namibia's petroleum commissioner, said wealthy countries had failed to deliver promised funding that would help them to expand clean energy instead of exploiting their fossil fuel resources. Goldfields shares jumped 21% on Wednesday after a deal to acquire Yamana Gold broke down, and the Canadian miner said it would pay $300 million break fee. The shares rose to their highest level since the end of May, reversing the plunge that followed news of the planned acquisition of Yamana. An appeals court in Milan has rejected Nigeria's request for compensation of just under $1.1 billion against Italian energy group Eni and Shell in civil proceedings related to a $1.3 billion oil field deal. In July, prosecutors dropped related criminal proceedings in one of the oil industry's biggest alleged corruption cases. Shell said it was pleased the civil proceedings had been dismissed. A South African court has overturned an earlier order halting construction of Amazon's new African headquarters in Cape Town. In March, the court initially agreed to halt the project, saying that in the absence of proper consultation, the fundamental rights to culture and heritage of indigenous groups, particularly the Khoi and San First Nations peoples, were under threat. And finally, Transparency International has called for an investigation of possible criminal actions in Madagascar's lychee trade. The anti-corruption group said it wants to probe links between French companies in Madagascar's lychee industry and other organizations in the country, in case Madagascan farmers were being deprived earning their fair share of money.